jail per se. Not
Is it safe yet at this point? Oh, good Lord, my voice just cracked like I was a 12-year-old prepubescent boy.
I was about to say, like, you going through the change right now?
Well, I am in a room by myself, so beware.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the 5-Star Jobbers Podcast. I'm Cody.
And I am pretty tired, man. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. It's been a long, I had a long day of celebrating America yesterday.
Me too.
You know, drinks were had, food was ate, things were blown up.
Yeah.
You know?
Couldn't get any better.
I'm proud to be an American.
Got that right, man.
I don't think any other country would take me.
Nah, definitely wouldn't. I don't think you can. You know, you got that thing going on right now with other countries, so.
Well, I mean,
we don't talk about it, though, but.
NDAs are signed, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, guys, hope everybody had a great 4th of July celebration. Hope everybody celebrated their Independence Day to the fullest. Like we said before, like, we are so thankful to be in this country. We live in a fantastic country. But before we get into anything, I want to let everybody know some upcoming events. But also, thank every single one of you for supporting us, for listening to our podcast, for watching our YouTube channel. We can't thank you enough for your support. But I want to set a goal right now for you guys. Right now on our YouTube channel, we have about 170 plus subscribers right now. I want to set a challenge for each of you. I think y'all can do it, but I want to see how quick y'all can get there. I want to see us get to 200 subscribers before the year is over. 200. We just need about 30. Was it 30 more?
I think that's a small goal. I think we need to go to 300.
Didn't we get 300?
I mean, if we're going to have a goal, we might as well push, right? Like, you know, you got to aim for the moon to land amongst the stars.
All right, guys. I mean, let's go for it. Yeah, I mean, hey, you heard it here first. The goal right now, get us to 300 subscribers, and maybe we'll do like a giveaway, or maybe we'll do something at the end of the year. I don't know.
We'll do a giveaway. We say we might, shave Cody's butt hair. I mean, the
options are endless.
Y'all let us know what you want to see.
Nobody wants to see that. I don't want to see that.
I do.
You're a filthy, filthy man.
Anyway, guys, one of those like black tar things that you have to use like the Q-tips on the nose.
Oh gosh, no!
And just
No. You think me screaming for the chops was bad? I'll be screaming like a little girl on this. But anyway, nonetheless, thank you guys for supporting us. But also, we're on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and on YouTube. As you can see, we've got all of our content from our commentary episodes as well. But we want to let you guys know of some upcoming events that are going to be going on here in the near future. Yeah. Like I said, it's been a long week. I can't hardly talk. First off, this weekend, since this is going to be posted on Saturday, technically we're recording this on Friday night. Today, because this will be going out on Saturday, today, Guardians Legacy Summer Explosion at the Rosenwald High School Gym. Doors open at 6 p.m. Bell time is at 7 in Panama City. You don't want to miss out on this. This is going to be it's going to be a fun event. Also, they're having a picnic earlier that day. Get there around 11 or so. Enjoy some great food, enjoy some games, get to see some of your favorite wrestlers there. It's going to be a fun event. But today, Guardians Legacy Summer Explosion, July 6th, Rosenwald High School Gym, Panama City, Florida. Doors open at 6, bell time is at 7. Also, we got a couple events that are going to be happening a little bit later on July 20th. First off, the next Guardians Legacy event, Summer of Champions, will be going on. Same place, same time, all that good stuff in Panama City at the Rosenwald High School
Same
Gym.
Legacy place. Same Legacy time.
You got it. And then also on July 20th, Kraken Pro Wrestling is back. July 20th at the Maude Littman Gym in Tifton, Georgia at 7 p.m. You don't want to miss out on it. It's going to be an incredible event. A lot of great wrestlers there. If you haven't been watching the Kraken TV episodes, you're missing out. Like, they're fantastic. You get to see our faces in them. I mean, how could you not like that? I mean, more so me, but anyway. But anyway, so go check out their YouTube channel, subscribe to their stuff. No. Those milkshakes don't bring any boys to the yard.
Dang right. It's better than yours.
I was hoping you were going to do it. But yeah, Crackhead Pro Wrestling and Guardians Legacy both happening on July 20th. Don't miss out on it. But also, there's something else I want to let you guys know about. That's going to be happening a little bit later in the beginning of August. Hope Championship Wrestling. If you haven't looked at their page and you haven't checked them out, go check them out. Like all their stuff. Go subscribe to their YouTube channel, all that, because they've got an event going on August 3rd called Hope Behind Bars. It's going to be August 3rd in a correctional facility in Elba, Alabama. And it's pretty much just a ring, 12 wrestlers that go and share the gospel with about 200 inmates. They're looking for 100 people to give $15 to help get them there. So we'll put a link down below if you want more information about this, but help them get in this facility. Help them get to their goal of getting where they need to get, because they do an incredible job. They have a great team behind them. Marty Miller is a fantastic individual. He's got a book that's going to be coming out as well. I'm definitely going to check that out at some point. But Hope Championship Wrestling presents Hope Behind Bars on August 3rd. Link will be down in the description below for our YouTube channel. If you want more information, go check out them out on Facebook. But a lot of great things are happening. It's a fantastic time to be a professional wrestling fan. But speaking of which, today is Money in the Bank in Toronto. And so in the traditional premium live event leading up to it, we like to talk about the matches and give our predictions and give our thoughts and opinions, how valuable they may be or not. But there's a lot to talk about and a lot of things to get into. But we're going to start off first. We'll save the ladder matches for later, but we're going to get into the other matches first. So, first one I want to get into, we've got the Intercontinental Championship match between Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker. This match is going to be incredible. Here's my thing about it. I feel like, me personally, the hype around Sami Zayn has died down now.
Mm-hmm.
It's to a point where people are not necessarily getting tired of it, but they're like, okay, it's great. Sami won at WrestleMania, but now it's kind of getting stale, per se. Not necessarily.
Is it safe yet at this point? Oh, good Lord, my voice just cracked like I was a 12-year-old prepubescent boy.
I was about to say, like, you going through the change right now?
Well, I am in a room by myself, so beware. But I am the master of my own domain, so I'm the king of the castle. Don't worry, I can handle myself for at least the next 30 minutes. Then I'll handle myself for the next 30 minutes.
Oh gosh!
But is it safe to say at this point that Sami is not a single star and is more of a tag team specialist or faction specialist? Because I feel like when Sami's with people, it works a lot better than Sami by himself, and I don't know why that is. The wrestler Sami Zayn is a fantastic talent. He has mic skills and things like that, but it just doesn't seem like he connects or that the audience connects to him by himself. Am I the only one thinking that?
Well, I think the only reason why now is because this is not heel Sami Zayn. If it was heel Sami Zayn, it'd be a different story. But because it's face and because he's trying to go with that underdog mentality, we've seen this kind of story before. We've seen him portray this, and we've seen him beat the odds in other situations. So it's kind of that same song and dance kind of situation a little bit. But
it's like
it's not to say that it doesn't work.
But the thing is like, how many faces are there that do the same song and dance but make it engaging every single time?
Right. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, it works here and there. Like, and it just depends. But I feel like now the hype has kind of died down, and everybody's kind of like, okay, great, Sami won WrestleMania. Let's move on to something else. And then comes Braun Breaker, a guy who runs the ropes at about 23 or 24 miles an hour, nearly like shifts the ring whenever he runs.
Thanks, Michael Cole.
I mean, I'm just saying. Like this guy,
we haven't. Thanks. It's been about 8 hours since I heard that stat from Michael Cole during a commentary. Like, come on, man, come up with your own original stuff. Braun Breaker needs to be the Intercontinental Champion.
100%.
Braun Breaker needs to win this match, and we were talking about this beforehand. Braun Breaker needs to destroy, and I'm not trying to hurt Sami Zayn, but to build Braun Breaker, they need to have a hot start to the match. Sami gets his work in, but then Breaker, you know, the heat stops and Breaker takes over and never lets up and wins. That's what needs to happen. And
Yeah,
Braun Breaker needs to go into SummerSlam, maybe defending against Sammy in a rematch, but, once again, winning and decisively, claiming his spot. He's, that's just the way it's got to be.
exactly. I know you can't see it right now, but your camera just froze up and you've got a weird, awkward face right now. So I don't know how long it's going to last, but for the next 5 minutes or so, people are going to see you looking like this.
Nice.
But anyway, yeah, Braun Breaker needs to win, no, hands down. So hopefully that'll happen, but we'll see. Also, we've got the 6-man tag match where you have the Bloodline against Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. For this, I feel the Bloodline will win. I don't know about you, but I I just feel like Cody and them can't win this match because to build the hype up around the Bloodline for so much, having new members come in, just adding Jacob Fatu into the mix, I feel like you can't build the hype up to Money in the Bank and then just say, "Oh no, Cody's going to beat them."
I agree. No, I agree. I don't think it makes sense for the faces to win, especially after what the Bloodline did to Paul Heyman. They need to come out of Money in the Bank either looking very dominant, or is this Paul went to the table? Does Paul return at Money in the Bank with the Tribal Chief?
I don't think he's going to return at Money in the Bank with him. I think this is just going to be a match where because Cody's not going to get pinned because you can't let Cody get pinned in this match.
That's why KO
Kevin
and
Owens
Randy
or
are there.
Randy Orton. Yeah, Kevin
Yeah,
Owens or Randy Orton will get pinned in this match, but
it'll be
I feel like
KO.
yeah, KO makes more sense. But regardless, I feel like you can't build him up this much and then just say, "Oh no, Cody's going to beat them again." Because then after that, it's like, okay, well now how do we take this new Bloodline seriously if they lose every single time?
Yeah,
So
and I'll say this: Solo is Solo fighting in this, or is he standing outside?
I think so. Well, here's the thing. It's weird because the way that they have the graphic up there, it has all 4 members of the Bloodline on there right
Mm-hmm.
now. So I want to say that Solo is fighting, and Jacob Fatu will just be at ringside because he's pretty much the enforcer of the Bloodline now. So he'll probably be just standing at ringside, just
Yeah,
getting
so I mean, at the end of the day,
getting involved.
you got a 4-on-3. So you've got you have the good guys, the baby faces at a disadvantage, heels with the numbers, so they can go over easily without it hurting Cody, Randy, KO. Um, Obviously, Jacob Fatu is, he's very established as a force to be reckoned with in just a little bit, of time that he's been on camera for the WWE universe. Even longer for those who have seen him, outside of the WWE universe. But I don't know. To me, I feel like they need to do some serious work with Solo because right now he just seems like a wannabe. Like
Yeah,
at one point, he seemed like an enforcer, and then on the road to WrestleMania, he took a lot of losses, and the few times he had opportunities to speak, it's like he was really good until he opened his mouth. Then he opened his mouth, lost heat. I think he's gotten better with it, but they've got to figure out how to reignite Solo's flame.
yeah.
Like
See, and now without Paul Heyman,
the bloodline is hot. After what they did to Paul Heyman, the bloodline is hot. But I can't sit here and say that Solo Sikoa is on fire.
no.
Like if Roman Reigns comes back, Solo Sikoa is like a one match and done situation right now. He's not standing as a viable option to take over anything, much less the bloodline.
Right. Well, I mean, I think this time leading up until say the Royal Rumble or whichever, I think this will be the time that they build Solo up as a formidable entity or as a formidable opponent against anybody. Because, like you said, he's just been the enforcer, hadn't really said anything, hadn't really done anything, and has taken a lot of losses. But now is the time because he's got this group of mercenaries and thugs behind him and just
Well, it's like
absolute beasts of individuals.
And
So
it's like the downside of the Tongas and Jacob Fatu, and there's not any downside really. But the problem is that in the original bloodline, you had Roman, you had the Usos who were the Flash, Roman was the substance, and then Solo was able to be the heater, the enforcer. In the bloodline now, bloodline 2.0, you got nothing but enforcers.
yeah,
So that shtick can't work anymore. Like his character has to evolve. His character needs to grow, more dimensions, because no one's gonna look at the bloodline and go, oh yeah, Solo Sikoa, he's the enforcer of that group. No.
no,
No.
no,
Jacob Fatu is now the enforcer of the bloodline. So
right,
Solo Sikoa, the Tongas can, I'm not going to say they're going to be flash like the Usos, but the Tongas are very capable of being a dominant tag team,
oh yeah, 100%.
with personality. But Solo, yeah, if he's going to be believable as the leader of the group, I'm not sure exactly what needs to happen, but something needs to happen to make it more believable. Because right now it's just kind of like,
It's like they're trying too
yeah.
hard to be the bloodline of old.
And I mean, and I don't think they are. I don't think they're trying to be the bloodline of old. I think they are trying to be bloodline 2.0. It's just the only claim that Solo has to being the leader at this point was he was there first. That's it.
Yeah,
He doesn't have more accolades than Tongas or Jacob. He has less. He doesn't have
yeah,
as much time in the business as the other three. And let's say, like, they're a little more, their characters are a little more grown, matured. Like it's I just say I need to see something in Money in the Bank from Solo.
yeah.
So, like, long story short, I'm really hoping that he's in the match and not just standing outside, because he needs to be in the match and he needs to run stuff. And they need to let the Tongas, get kind of tossed around and let him be the one who recollects. Because he's got to have, and I think that's where we are. He's got to actually be a leader and not just the basically. I mean, he just looks like he's what do you call that? But like Prince John, sitting on the throne of the king, but not the king.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I got you. And then the other one before we get to the ladder matches, we've got Damian Priest and Seth Rollins for the world title. Now, this one, I don't think that Seth takes the title off Damian, because I think Judgment Day is going to have some way that they're going to get involved, especially with Liv Morgan and Dominic having their thing right now. So
Mm-hmm.
I definitely see Judgment Day getting involved and helping Damian retain the title in some way, shape, or form. Now, I'm hoping that they have this as the main event, because with that, if McIntyre wins the ladder match, he made it clear he's going to cash in that night and he's going to be world champion. And so I I hope that it happens that way, but I don't know. We'll just have to see. But regardless, I don't.
McIntyre may cash in the bank, but he may
Oh,
not be world champion.
oh no,
Like,
because
I'm
we all
fully
know.
expecting that if McIntyre wins Money in the Bank, and let's say Money in the Bank men's is the curtain jerker,
Yeah.
they're going to be hyping that up for the rest of the night. And CM Punk's going to be there.
Well, here's the thing. What if it's not CM Punk and you get AJ,
AJ Styles?
AJ Lee?
AJ Lee.
Yeah.
Why? Where are you coming up with this? What have you been eating? What have you
I mean, I'm just
been?
saying, because I mean, Punk's still not cleared, but that doesn't mean he can't make an appearance. But at the same time, this is
Yes,
prime opportunity.
85-pound AJ Lee somehow getting involved with the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre, and no,
Dude,
I'm poo pooing on that. I will give my right testicle to science if that happens.
okay. You all heard it here first. We've got record of it. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, if it wasn't CM Punk and you see AJ come out and knock McIntyre off the ladder, how poetic would that be?
Well, I mean, there
I
might be a
mean,
schmoz or there might be a swerve of some kind, where maybe the music plays and then Drew takes his eye off the ball or something
yeah,
like that. I mean, there's a lot of ways that CM Punk can screw McIntyre over without getting in the ring. But then
yeah,
again, I also don't know how much I believe that Punk's not medically cleared. I think at this point it's storyline. Because if he wasn't medically cleared, I don't think that they would have had Drew drop him like a freaking sack of dimes on the ground the other day. Like, if you go back and watch on Raw, when Drew drops Punk, he does not place him gingerly on the ground. He thuds him. And
right.
if you've got an issue with your hands, this arm right here, something's torn off, you fall to the ground. Nah, nah, no. I think Punk's good to go, but they're waiting to SummerSlam. And I mean, they have a built-in reason for these guys not to touch each other by saying that he's hurt. But that don't mean he's actually hurt. So he
Right.
very well could get in. And just like I said, he doesn't have to give him the Anaconda Vice. He doesn't have to put him to sleep.
No,
He just has to distract him. That's all that has to happen is that he
exactly.
distracts him. And because that goes with the whole storyline of the whole situation is that Drew can't get out of his own way in those situations.
Exactly. But all that to say, I think Damien still retains at the end of the night.
I think he retains at the end of the night. I agree. Like I said, if McIntyre wins, yeah, we'll probably see a cash in the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk about the other guys when we get to that match.
Yeah. So now we get into the ladder matches. So first, I want to start off with the women's, and then we'll get into the
Yep.
men's. So with the women's, we have Io Sky, Chelsea Green, Lyra Valkyria, Zoe Stark, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton.
All
Now,
right. So I don't know. I don't know who's going to win this one, but I'm going to go ahead and say I need Chelsea Green. I need Chelsea Green
I was
to
just
win
about to
this
say,
thing.
I
I need.
she
Go
needs
ahead.
to win more than anybody in this match because she is the perfect heel in the women's division. She is perfect for this. Having her walk
Mhm.
around with the briefcase every chance she gets, just flashing it in front of people's faces, just gives it more anticipation for when she cashes it
I
in. And
want.
she
I
does.
want her to. I want her to bedazzle the Money in the Bank briefcase. I want her to walk out at the beginning of like every SmackDown and just talk about being the Money in the Bank women's briefcase holder and to take it to Nick Aldis every day and just remind him of who she is,
Yep.
like, and just over and
Like getting
over
in
and
the champions'
over.
faces and just putting it there like, I'm going to be champion soon. And
I
so,
want I want like 100 false cash-ins. I like it's Chelsea Green is so consistent with her character work, and in WWE we don't really get to see it, but the girl knows how to work too.
oh, yeah.
Like, go back to Lucha Underground, go back to any indie tape that she's got a lot of indie tape out. Back in the day, to go back to TNA, Impact Wrestling, things like
But
that.
that you mentioned that because I keep seeing the video whenever she wrestled Penta in Lucha Underground.
Yep.
Holy cow. That was probably my favorite match that they ever had in Lucha Underground.
Yeah. No, that girl can wrestle with the best of them. We don't, she's her character is kind of enigmatic to me on Raw because I've always felt like it hasn't been good enough. But then at the same, like I feel like what they've given her hasn't been good enough. But I feel like she has taken the ball and run with it every single time. So it's like I want to be mad, but I can't because she's doing such a good job.
Yeah.
Um,
Like she's taking what she's been given, but she makes it work.
and Liv's doing a really good job of being a heel. At first, I was really sick. I really wasn't digging it, but it's
Yeah.
gotten a lot better. But still, like I say this, they're not great female heels on the roster right now. Chelsea Green is in the top conversation for female heels.
Yeah.
And she has the ability to be so much more aggravating, annoying.
I would say like maybe top three women's heels right now in WWE. Chelsea Green's number one.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Tiffany Stratton would be a second, and then Liv Morgan is underneath that.
Yeah. It could be
So,
Tiffy time.
so that's what I'm thinking too. Like Chelsea needs to win, but I
Mm-hmm.
feel like Tiffany Stratton will win.
I wouldn't be
Either
upset
way,
with Tiffany Stratton winning because I honestly feel like the same thing would happen with both.
yeah.
Um,
Either way, I'd be happy if either one of those women win. Io
yeah.
Sky, I feel like she's already had her chance. She's been there, done that. She doesn't need to win
Yep.
it again.
Yep.
Lyra Valkyria, she'll build up more momentum as she keeps
No, she's
progressing
got to
in
go
terms
on
of
the.
storyline.
She's on a hero's journey. She's fighting for respect and credibility on the main roster. She'll
Yeah.
eventually get there. We'll see her. We'll see her down the road, but she's not winning this Money in the Bank match.
No. Zoe Stark, she's kind of been on a stale journey as of late. I
I've
don't
never
see
been.
them.
Like I say, I don't disrespect the wrestler or the work that she does, but the character of Zoe Stark to me has never been. Like I say, her work rate in the ring is great.
Yeah.
But the character of Zoe Stark has nothing for me to sink my teeth in. It's why she was in NXT for so long because she's never had it. She's a good hand, so put her in the match, let her catch people, let her maybe do a thing or two that's going to be
Yeah.
impressive. But she
Then
she'll
that's how her and Naomi are going to be in this match because I mean neither one of them are going to walk out of this with a win.
no.
But yeah, so either Tiffany Stratton or Chelsea Green need to win this match. Hope either one of them wins this match. But either way, whoever it is, I'll be happy as long as it's one
Yeah.
of them too. And then finally, we get to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. So we've got Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, LA Knight.
Yeah.
There we go. Andrade, Chad Gable, and Drew McIntyre. All, I would say, most of these guys would be perfect to win this either way because they could go any direction with LA Knight. They could go
Yeah.
direction with Chad Gable. They could go direction with Drew McIntyre, obviously. Carmelo Hayes.
Do we see the Wyatt Six during this match? I mean, obviously the Wyatt Six are pointed at Chad Gable.
That's honestly, I feel like they will probably come into play.
We have not seen a Chad Gable segment. We have not seen a Chad Gable segment since the beginning of the Wyatt Six that has not been interrupted in some way, shape, or form by the Wyatt Six. So, like, do the Wyatt Six come out and obliterate the men's Money in the Bank ladder match?
I hope not, honestly, because I feel like there's a lot riding on this match as far as storylines go that to have them just decimate everybody and then leave everybody wondering, well, who's the winner? Where do we go from here? I feel like it hurts both parties involved. I feel like it hurts the momentum
I
of the
don't
Live
see.
Six, and I feel
So
like
I'm gonna be bold. I'm gonna be bold on this, and I'm gonna say I don't think there's a chance for anybody that's on SmackDown to win this. Cody's got the title. Cody's not dropping the title until
no,
WrestleMania 41. And he may not even drop it then. But at WrestleMania 41, he's either going to be fighting The Rock or he's going to be fighting Roman Reigns or there's going to be a triple threat match. But Cody's not dropping the title. So you can put money, you can put maybe the briefcase on somebody, but I don't like it when the briefcase is a failure. Like I understand
no,
that every once in a while you have to let the briefcase be a failure so that it doesn't seem like it's just a guarantee. Kind of like I can't remember what WrestleMania it was, but like the very first WrestleMania where the Royal Rumble winner went on to main event WrestleMania and then didn't win.
yeah.
It was like, wait, what? This isn't what's supposed to happen. Like
And
it's
I think
important to do
I know
that.
Shinsuke was one of those that was one
Shinsuke was
of the
one. He wasn't the first.
it wasn't the
I can't
first.
remember.
Who
I
was the
can't remember
first?
who it was. It was sometime near the end of the Attitude Era, beginning early phases of the Ruthless Aggression Era. So yeah, I don't remember exactly who it was, but yeah. What I'll say is I don't like Money in the Bank briefcases on guys who just it they're not going to win.
Yeah,
Like what was it in 2020 when they put it on Otis? Otis was so hot with his character work and he was over with the crowd, but you knew he's not going to be a heavyweight champion. So
no,
when he won the Money in the Bank ladder match, you're like, so he's either going to cash in and lose, or they're going to take this thing off him. And lo and behold, that's what they did. And so it's not entertaining. When you've got a superstar who can win with it and that they want to push, that makes it exciting. That makes it feel like, okay, anytime there's a big brawl, bust out, knockout match where the champion's on his back, there's an opportunity for someone to win. And that's what makes the briefcase exciting.
Yeah.
So Cody's over at SmackDown. He ain't going nowhere with that title. And let's face it, neither's Roman or Rock.
No.
So, no.
Really, the only
SmackDown,
ones
all
out of
the
this
SmackDown
match.
guys are out.
Yeah, really the only one from SmackDown that I feel like would do good to win is LA Knight. But him and Logan Paul have a feud going on right now
Yeah,
where
they don't need.
he's going to be United States champion at some point. So
Yeah, I think
that's good for
that'll
him
be
because
SummerSlam.
he's got enough hype around him and he's got enough people supporting him that he'll be a good mid Carter for a while right now. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the guy is great. He's got charisma. He's got great skills on the mic. Ring work is fantastic. Like,
Yep.
I think LA Knight as United States champion would be fantastic.
Yep.
But
Yep.
he's the one to beat Logan Paul. But as far as everybody else, Jey Uso, I feel like, again, same situation with LA Knight. He's a good mid Carter. He'd be good to have one of the mid card titles like the IC title or the US title on him and go from there. Carmelo Hayes, he still needs some time to build himself up and work on himself a little bit more. Andrade, I feel like they just don't know what to do with him because now
if it wasn't for Ricochet leaving, he wouldn't even have the speed title.
exactly. I hate that they got
let's
him.
face it, Andrade is there because Ricochet's not.
True. Yeah, I just hate that that's what they've suggested.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
You telling the truth. And then here's the thing. Chad Gable, I can see him winning this.
Gable could win this, but I don't think that he wins this because of the 6. I feel like if there's a chance for Gable to win, if he's on the tippy top of that ladder, the lights go out.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I'm talking about
I think the only guy that's winning. I think the only two guys that are realistic, possibly, yeah, is Gable and McIntyre. Now, Jey Uso is in my third place running for possibility of here. But like, Gable could get the Money in the Bank briefcase because of what they're doing something with him with the Wyatt 6.
Right.
I don't know what it is, but Jay could win this. And he could hold on to it for a while. So like I would say, if Jay wins it, he'll win it, and then I don't know when he'll cash in.
Yeah.
But if McIntyre wins, and this is what I think is going to happen, if McIntyre wins, McIntyre cashes in the same night. Especially if the money, we don't know what the order is right now, but if the Money in the Bank men's ladder match is early on. It might be the curtain jerker. It might be, the intermission main event. But if McIntyre wins early on, he's cashing it. They're going to hype it up all night long. They're talking about how somebody could cash in on Damian or Seth no matter what. They're going to talk about it over and over and over again. And then McIntyre will cash in. But right as he's about to cash in or as he's about to give a Claymore, Cult of Personality is going to drop.
Yep.
And that doesn't mean that CM Punk's going to actually be in the ring.
It's just his music.
But there's going to be a distraction. There's going to be something that CM Punk does to take McIntyre's eye off the ball and cost him the match.
Yeah. So, I feel like the two that need to win are either Drew McIntyre or Chad Gable. Everybody else, they're doing just fine not to win it.
I'd love Chad Gable to win it. I don't see it right now. I can tell his storyline is going to be involved with the Wyatt 6, and that storyline doesn't have anything to do with the title.
Yeah.
So why have a prop, or what do you want to, whatever we want to call the briefcase, an accolade or a guarantee.
Yeah, something like that.
Why waste it on a person whose story has nothing to do with the title?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like Jey Uso with the Money in the Bank briefcase can sit there and say, I've never won an individual title. Maybe I cash in for the championship. Maybe I cash in for the Intercontinental title. He goes, but like that's why I feel like Jay's a possibility. But honestly, I just if gun to my head, I have to tell you, I think Drew wins it and loses it in the same night.
Yeah, I agree. But anyway, that's our predictions and that's our opinions for Money in the Bank. I'm looking forward to seeing how everything plays out. It's going to be an incredible event, but don't want to miss out on it. All right, everybody, it's time for some high spots and botches. Yeah, I was waiting for it. So, a high spot, because we've had to watch a little bit more and regroup from the past couple weeks because we didn't put an episode out on Monday or Tuesday. But I feel like the high spot for both of us, I would say, has carried over for another week or so because I would say the high spot for the past couple of weeks or so has been the Bloodline segment where Paul Heyman refuses to acknowledge
Yeah,
Solo as the tribal chief.
and for good reason.
Holy cow.
And for good reason. I mean, was this not only was the segment written well and performed well by all involved, but good Lord, Paul Heyman.
Give that man an Emmy.
The
Give him an
man, the
Oscar.
man, first of all, and it's come out too, of course, so everybody's read it here, but the man didn't sleep the night before so that his eyes would be bloodshot red and he would look tired as all get out.
Yeah.
He did not put anything in his hair so that his hair would look less put together. Like he looked like someone who's on the verge of a nervous breakdown.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. Like Paul Heyman
Paul
is
Heyman
the
is bringing
GOAT.
method acting. Paul
Yeah.
Heyman is bringing method acting to professional wrestling.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, good Lord. I mean, this man has been changing the game in realistic delivery
Yeah.
of promos. You know, like the work shoot promo. He invented it. He's perfected it, and now he's deciding to trim the bushes and re-update it.
Exactly. I mean, I love it. That whole segment was just absolute gold.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't tell you how many times I've watched that back and just listened to the pop that he got from the crowd whenever he said, I acknowledge you are not my tribal chief. Man, I could watch that over and over and over again. But yeah, easy high spot for both of us.
Yep.
Now, as far as botches go, I'm shifting to AEW here. And
Oh, so surprising.
I know, right? Shocker. And here's why. And I've talked to you about this in conversation before, but this past week on Rampage, they put Orange Cassidy in a handicap match. Now, I have no problem with that. Because, I mean, when you have a handicap match with a smaller guy against two pretty heavy set guys, like powerhouses even, if there's a storyline built around it or something that has been leading up to it, it makes sense, and you have me invested in it.
You can have a quick roll up for a win. You could have interference of friends for a win.
Yeah. Like any kind of interference, any kind of roll up, any kind of like surprise win where it's unexpected. But
you don't have somebody who weighs under 140 pounds taking on a collective of close to 400 or more pounds and no selling like their freaking Achilles and they can't be stopped.
No, see, that's the thing that drives me up the wall with how they booked Orange Cassidy now. They've made him look like he is invincible.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing. He's not invincible because whenever you do a pile driver for somebody else, and I know we've talked about this before, and I sound like a broken record when I say this, but I'm echoing what Bully Ray said here on Busted Open podcast. For someone of his size, to get a pile driver on the steel steps, and
they should not get back up.
10 seconds later, bigger and stronger men than him have not gotten up from that 10 seconds afterwards.
Yep.
And if they did, it was like maybe about 30 seconds later or a minute or so when the guy rolled them back in the ring.
No.
But even then,
you don't do that. But and the more I think about it, the more my gripe on this one is because we can sit there and talk about bad psychology. We've talked it almost to death. So now I've got to bring up another, where I have another piece of umbrage with the whole thing. I love Orange Cassidy. Don't get me wrong. I like the first time I saw it, I was like, I didn't quite get it at first.
Right.
But as I saw more of it, I was like, this is an intriguing character. This is something different. This brings new opportunity to matches. So I was for it. And he has a fan base, but this is where I'm going to say this. He's not a talker.
No.
the whole shtick of his character is that he's not a passionate, embroiled character.
He's very like nonchalant, laid back, doesn't really say much. It's just kind of go with the flow.
So then I ask this question: how does that character talk you into the building? How does that character put butts in seats and pay bills? Like,
it shouldn't be.
He's a good character. He's a good character. He has a following, but he does not have a character that you put on the marquee of your, of your event, and you put it on him the night before the event or the week before the event to get on the microphone and say something that makes people want to spend money on your product. Yeah. Unlike WWE, who's, when they're in with Peacock and then there's the other thing with Netflix, like WWE's PLEs are pretty well taken care of at this point. AEW's are not. AEW is selling pay-per-views on, you're paying $50 or, $60 depending on where or why, but they've still got to do the old school wrestling thing where they've got to talk people into the building. And you've got a guy who's not that he can't talk, because I think he can be engaging, like he does well with his character, but if his character were to get fired up, it would break character in the first place.
Yeah.
So you have a character who is kind of handicapped by the shtick that works for him. And I'm not saying you shouldn't push him. You should push him. But why would you push him over so many other people who could put more butts in seats and who could give embroiled promos that would make people want to watch wrestling?
Absolutely. Yep. Agree 100%. It's just one of the many pet peeves that I have with the booking of AEW right now, and I don't see it ending anytime soon. But, I mean, yeah, those are our high spots and botches for this week and for the last couple of weeks or so, but yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to Money in the Bank. I'm looking forward to seeing how the matches play out. A lot of storylines are going to be happening. Hopefully, see a lot of surprises as well. It's going to be, it's going to be awesome. But anyway, guys, that's our episode for this week. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you to all of our listeners that have supported us. Again, we're on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and on YouTube. You can see all of our content on here, all of our commentary episodes, and our Season 2 episodes on here as well. If you haven't gone to our streaming platforms on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, we're on there. We can listen to all of our episodes as well from Season 1 and now. And also, just going to remind you the upcoming events. Today, don't miss out. Guardians Legacy, Summer Explosion, Rosenwald High School Gym in Panama City, Florida. Doors open at 6. Bell time is at 7. Kraken Pro Wrestling and Guardians Legacy are both happening on July 20th. And Hope Behind Bars. Again, we'll put a description down below on our YouTube video here. Go check it out. Go support them. Don't miss out on it. But anyway, guys, like we always say, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And as always, keep it 5 stars.